Welcome back. Well, there's big changes in Victoria where traditional Indigenous leaders are looking to shut down climbing in a number of places in the state, including the Grampians and Mount Arapiles. Now, I can't remember any of this being discussed at the last state election, but of course we're told now that there are legislated fines in the offing of $1.6 million for people who breach these rules in Victorian national type parks. Joining me is Mike Tomkins. He's the association head or the spokesman for the Australian Climbing Association of Victoria. Mike's in Melbourne. Mike, I was very surprised to hear about this issue today. Tell me a little bit more about what it means for people who currently have been climbing a lot of these rocky outcrops in Victoria.
Climbing is a very rich culture of people in Victoria and all over the world, and it's quite a complex and layered activity enjoyed by thousands of people. And at the moment we're facing lockouts, shutdowns of vast areas of the Grampians National Park, and there are also concerns over the very iconic Mount Arapiles nearby.
So what happened here? The state government has given cultural control of these parkland areas, these state Victorian national parks, so not national parks, state parks, Victorian parks, to local Indigenous groups under the auspices, I suppose, of protecting Indigenous heritage. Why then have they decided to shut down access?
The control is not given to the traditional owners at this stage, but the traditional owners do have great interest in protecting cultural heritage in the parks. Some are national parks, some are state parks, but regardless, the cultural heritage is the important thing to the traditional owners. Our concern is over how it's being managed by the land manager, Parks Victoria, and there's been some shocking management practice in recent times.
So what level of consultation has there been with climbing organisations like yours?
Almost none, and any consultation that has occurred has been somewhat lip service, and Parks Victoria has pretty much ignored the specialist advice available from the climbing community and has gone ahead with introducing restrictions on climbing that are going to be harmful to everybody. It's not going to protect the cultural art in any way. It's creating a mess that needs to be resolved, and the climbers would like to be part of that solution.
Well, have you done anything? Are you aware of any instances where climbers have disrespected the cultural importance of the parkland?
Climbing does have some impacts, and I'd like to speak a little bit about that. But in terms of what the damage that's been done, these cultural heritage areas are maintained on a secret register, so we have no real knowledge of the more intangible things that we might be impacting upon. Climbers have kept away from any visible rock art for the last 50 years or more when they've been climbing in the Grampians National Park, and climbing and rock art are kept completely separate. Climbers have been wonderful guardians of the natural environment and the cultural environment, but we are aware, increasingly aware, that there are areas that we should not go, but those are not known to us and cannot be known to us because areas of cultural importance need to be kept secret, and there's discretion required over that. So there's a little bit of a problem there.
Yeah, it's a whole circular argument. How can you keep away from an area because of its cultural importance if you don't know where that area is? I mean, I have been bushwalking through the Grampians a number of times. I know it's much loved by Victorians, regardless of their own heritage and skin colour. It surprises me because every time I've come across the rock climbers or serious bushwalkers, they're very particular about respecting the natural environment. They bag up everything and they take it out. They seem to do it because they love the natural environment. So it surprises me that you're in trouble here, but the worry I'd have as a climbing organisation, these fines are serious, $1.6 million. What are you going to do about this? Are you seeking to fight these new laws?
We will be reviewing all the legislation and taking the necessary action in whatever way we have to do through judicial review or the Supreme Court. And we've got a whole team of lawyers on our on our books who work pro bono because they're actually rock climbers who are passionate about this. You're absolutely correct, Peter, in saying that climbers see themselves as environmental guardians and stewards of this environment. And we're quite horrified and mortified to think that we might be doing some inadvertent damage, but we don't know these areas. What we'd like to do is deal directly with traditional owners and walk out on country and discover in whatever ways we can where we can go and where we cannot go. At this stage, though, we're being kept apart from the traditional owners by Parks Victoria for reasons we don't really understand.
Yeah, well, it's very sad, Mike, because there is a huge global climbing audience that would look at this decision, particularly Mount Arapiles, and be dismayed. The lack of consultation is a real worry. As I said, I can't remember it being a feature of the recent state election campaign, and lack of consultation is a pretty poor way to enact new laws. More strength to your arm. I'm going to put the details up on my Facebook page of where they can contact you. It's the Australian Climbing Association of Victoria. If there are other climbers there around the country who want to signal their support, that's where they should contact you. Mike Tomkins, thank you for your time tonight.
Thank you, Peter.